What's up? What's this, episode number 8?
Hey, hey, hey.
We actually got engaged in, hold on, you about to hear one of my rare mic touches, but I need to adjust. Okay.
We need to get an official intro where I get a good warning and we get a good hello, Tulsa people and everybody all over the world.
Hey, I'm guilty because in my brain, sometimes my brain moves faster than I'm ready to move or ready to see anybody else. I'd be like, I'm good, let's go. And I go straight to record. This is actually the second episode in a row I did that to you. And my apologies.
I'm going to say though, we was in a deep conversation, y'all.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, he was like, hey. I'm like, podcast time.
We was too deep. I'm like, no, we got to say something that it was just real thinking about. It's thinking about like people, we're kind of unfair to ourselves when, let's say, tragedy strikes and when you start back testing, sometimes you go into the what you woulda, should, what you woulda, shoulda, and what you coulda did. And it's unfair to judge yourself off of this what you know now as to what you would did then. It's just such a hard thing to put on your brain to try to put you to blame for something that you didn't know at one point, you know.
All the woulda, shoulda, couldas, it didn't. So it don't even matter because all it's gonna do is tie your mind up into something that's not possible, period.
Yeah. You can't, we have no DeLoreans. There's no going back into the past to make any changes. And chances are if you went back in the past to try to change something, all you do is screw something else up. So
that is true. What's that, a butterfly effect, the Mandela effect?
And not to minimize what's happened to you in the past, but there has to be weights on things. You can't put so much weight on the terrible things that happened to you in the past to where it weighs down, where you can't add no weight to your possible future, or you can't add no adjusted weights to anyways. Let me tell you, the weights matter.
Well, I think not even so much as the weights, but the simple fact that you can't do anything about it. Like, it don't matter how big or how small it was in your life. It's what can you do about it at this point? It's like, no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much energy you put into it, it happened, it's gone, it's a memory. There's nothing you can do to change it at this point.
True that. And we just watched this movie, Mr. Nobody. It was basically premises, spoiler alert. A kid, before he was born, they're all told what their life is going to be, their options, and they're able to choose their options right there. And then the angel's supposed to put their hands on their lips or whatever, and then they forget and they born into the life that they chose. But they forgot this kid, and he was born knowing all his possible outcomes in life. So the movie kind of just shows what every possible outcome would be and how he couldn't choose. And choose between mother and father, this girl or that girl, to the point where he was so caught up in the thought that he felt like he never left because he never lived because he spent so much time worrying about the choices that he needed to make when every choice was the right choice because it's the only choice you can make.
Because it would have been a life that he lived either way. Your life is your life.
Yeah, your life is your life.
And so like with him, one of the things that with Mr. Nobody, he ended up not living because he was paralyzed and didn't make a decision.
He didn't make a decision.
And that's the thing too. If you have too much knowledge ahead of time, it can paralyze you. Because if you was able to see too far in advance, then you'd be like, oh, should I do this? Or should I do that? Or should I da-da-da?
Same thing.
And so you can't worry about all the decisions that you don't make. You got to make your decision, stand in it, stand strong in it, and live with it. That's what it is.
And like us, like we've been doing, we started learning, financial markets, stock markets, futures markets, whatever. And the problem is, the more you know, the more it's hard to make a choice, and you get the paralysis analysis. It's like, you can see everything, but you don't know which way to go, and it kind of blinds you when you just.
It's more of a distraction. It's like when you get information overload, even though all the information might be awesome information, it's a distraction if you're not going to use it, and it keeps you from buckling down, focusing on one good thing. I'd rather focus on one thing and do it well and like become an expert at it than focus on 50 different things and be okay at them. No, I want one good thing. Because if I got somebody operating on me, I want a surgeon that specializes in just that.
Yeah.
Not just the general practitioner.
If you need brain surgery,
right,
you don't
I do
want
not
your
want
GP.
the orthodontic, orthopedic doctor, somebody that work on feet. I don't want him doing my brain surgery, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. And, man, it's just been a lot. This week has been, it's a lot of change that we started to acknowledge the change. And it I think made us grumpy for a moment. And then we start realizing, oh, this is the change. We got to make sure we change with the change and not get caught being stagnant, because that's where conflict or...
We got to flow like the water.
Flow like the water.
And bend like the plants.
Yep.
And can't be like a tree, because if a wind come too strong and a tree won't bend, guess what it's going to do? It's going to snap. It's going to break.
And we're thankful for the trees. Some people have to be the trees, but man, when you're trying to be adaptable to this future, I told my wife, I've been, I said it so much to the point where I just believe it. Like, I don't want to be left behind, not on technology, not on anything that's going to keep us blind.
At first, I thought he was crazy. I was like, he always talking about, we can't get left behind.
Yeah.
We can't get left behind. I'm like, what is he talking about? And at this time, I really was not on the computer, really was not staying close to the internet. I thought because I went to school for 10 years, I knew what I needed to know. That is not true. Stuff changes, especially with technology. Stuff changes so fast.
Yeah.
I felt like I was so far behind. I didn't even want to look at it anymore at first. And I started slowly but surely, and now it don't feel like it's so foreign anymore, and I really understand what he was saying.
And I think I turned you on to a new way of learning with the online stuff and all that.
Yeah, you opened up my mind even more. I thought I could, just when I thought my mind couldn't take anymore, it was like, poof. I'm like, okay, Lord, let me slow down. Let me slow down, because it's a whole lot.
I was trying to tell my wife, like, man, yes, most of the internet is social media, comedy and porn, but I told her there's a whole nother sector of internet that's really the people, the scholars, the people want to learn, the applications,
my people,
the mind stuff, the brain stuff, the kind of stuff we like, interested on. There's your people out there.
Self-proclaimed nerdy girl. What I say? Hood nerdy girl. Yeah. Whatever. I will proclaim it.
No,
First one.
We hid that nerdiness in the hood because
you had to. But you know what? Yeah. You had to be, I ain't gonna say you had to be real smooth with it. You had to be innovative. Use that intelligence in another way.
The only time you was able to talk about nerdy stuff in high school in the hood is when you was popular. So if the popular kid said, hey, Naruto was cool, hey, you was free to talk about Naruto.
Look, I went to a great school. Shout out Curie Metropolitan High School, Chi-Town. I went to a great school, and we had Spirit Week, and I proudly dressed up as a nerd.
First of all,
my freshman year.
Crystal's neighborhood where she lived was in the hood, but her school was not. She most definitely had the opportunities that, man, it's a different world.
I didn't even realize the opportunities that I had at the time. Sometimes I spent so much time like, man, I wish I would have took advantage of this and that and this.
And that's the thing too. Sometimes you can have those opportunities and not take advantage of. Is the same as you not having opportunities.
You can't, like we were saying, you can't focus on them all. Yeah. I did great. I did Marine Corps Junior ROTC, and then I went into the Marine Corps.
So,
and I did cross country and track, and then I was fine in the Marine Corps physically. I did, as far as all those physical fitness tests, those didn't faze me. It was the mental part that was hard for me. But I was on the basketball team for my freshman year. 8th grade, I was on the pom-pom team. In high school, then I did drill. I did Marine Corps Junior ROTC. I ran cross country and track. And what else did I do? Oh, I did say basketball team. Yeah. So I did all those things in high school. So even though you can call me a nerd, I was kind of a well-rounded nerd. And that was me living in the hood, but going to a really great high school. But I did so many things that I did not specialize in one. And so I was okay. I was good. I win place and stuff like that, but I never came in like number one because I was doing too many things. And so that's kind of what we were talking about too. Like, find that one thing and focus on that. Become great at that. And you could do more than one eventually, but get good at one first. Get really good at one first.
Like just with people in martial arts, if you go master a black belt in one martial art before you start being like
There's
yellow belts in 20 martial arts, you're gonna be real confused. Because so yeah, a lot of the same thing with I'm starting to learn with business. When we first decided business, Crystal like, yeah, you gotta have 7 businesses. I'm just like, I
did not. I said 7 streams of income. No. 7 streams of income.
No. That's what she said, 7 streams of income, but she made that as 7 businesses. It's gonna take 7 businesses. And I'm like, I might as well go work for the man if I got to run 7 businesses.
He thought I was trying to put him to work.
She didn't, I guess, I don't know if we didn't understand, or she didn't know how to explain it. She didn't know how to explain it at the time. Come on, stop playing with me. I didn't perceive it. I didn't perceive it at the time that she didn't want. She could have been like, not 7 businesses. She could have been like 7 ways out of your business to make money.
Yeah, I didn't know how to explain it. I was learning too. Look, I really just stepped into this business thing literally about 2 years. For about 2 years, so I've been learning.
We kind of just dove in.
We dove in. So we didn't know. So I'm putting all this stuff on him that I'm hearing from people that's been in business for 20, 30 years. So I don't even know how to break it down. And he sure don't know how to break it down at that time. And then we started getting into it. We started learning bit by bit. And now it makes sense.
And then we start realizing as we start becoming more confident in what we know that people don't know nothing out here. A lot of people running businesses don't know anything about business. They just know how to start the business. And if your business is struggling and you open your business, at least start educating now. Because it's really in the education.
Look, this is the key. Say you do something right. Of course, it's not going to be 100% the first time.
Nope.
What you do is you do it. And then you see what's wrong. And then you work on fixing those things. And one at a time, eventually you'll get it to where it's so smooth sailing. And it's running like, just running well. And they'll be like, dang, how you get that? Trial and error.
Man.
Because I did it. And what didn't work, I took that part out. And then I put in the parts that do work. And then boom, now it's working. And everybody see it's working. Because I figured I did the testing. I did the back testing to see what did not work first.
And then we got to realize, I know this era of reviews are killing people out here. If you're early on, we gotta let people know that you're a new business. Let's say you're just trying to, you test out your new business or whatever. You gotta kind of like put yourself in like a beta testing, like where taking all surveys, man. If it's your period, kind of like in the tech, we gotta start blending the tech industry. Since the tech industry was winning on all fronts, you gotta start blending in how the tech industry does their business. You just start your coffee shop. It got to be just like a beta. If you just open this thing, it ain't gonna be 100% on day one.
Product testing, customer surveys, customer data. You don't marry one thing.
No.
You test it out.
Yeah.
And then you see what works. And then you let the customer, you let the people let you know what works.
Yeah.
You can't be married to something. You can't make it about what you want when you're dealing with people. You bring some quality and value to it, and then you listen to the people. And then that's how you make it great.
Yeah. And but you listen to the people. See, this is where we kind of draw different.
Because you don't want to take away your creativity and your individuality in it.
People will take away your creativity and individuality if you only focus on what they want.
No, that you don't only focus on that.
That's what I'm saying.
But you have your own. That's why I say you have your own products to put out there, and you see what they like. You put testers out there. You don't marry any of them. Because they can be flexible.
Yeah, that's
so it's still your original idea. Mm-hmm. You still created it.
Might be like
but you're seeing what the people like.
It might be like
created.
the 20th version of your idea before people be like, oh, I messed with that.
Or you go back and you take something that you created and just tweak it a little bit according to, the people, the response from the people.
If anything, who should taught you that is if you're a consistent poster on social media teaches you what type of content people like. So that's one thing. Oh yeah, people, You gotta be consistent, please.
And like with social media, every platform has its own personality. I heard that in the beginning. I didn't understand, but I know now. Like my people, for me, they're on Facebook, you know. Instagram's cool, but I mean, I post on there. I don't get a lot of love on there, but that's cool because like certain people, they still follow me and watch my stuff or whatever. But like on social media, as far as Facebook, that's my family, friends, everybody there. So that's my spot. You know, I get more responses there. But LinkedIn, that's my business people. TikTok, that's my fun place. I'll do videos probably there that I wouldn't do on any other platform just because I'm just really being myself and just kind of having fun because people are okay with you having fun, business, whatever you do on TikTok. TikTok is really just like whatever.
TikTok loves when you quirky.
Genuine. They love your genuineness.
Yeah, they like
the
your
weird
quirks.
stuff, the stuff you don't like post everywhere else. It's like its own little place, you know? But like I said, every platform has its own personality.
Yeah.
And you just have to test it out. You'll see. Like on TikTok, they love my graphics, which I was surprised because I know on TikTok people perform for like likes and views.
Yeah.
On TikTok, I'll post a graphic, you know, some quote and post the reel with music behind it. And it'll be like 30 likes, 600 views. And I'll be like, dang, that was a still thing. I didn't think that was going to happen on TikTok, but it does. Because you have to learn what's what and what kind of posts work better where, you know?
That's true. It really is a process, and it's easy to give up and be like, it's trash, it don't work. Because as we see, we're still like, I only got like about 2,300 people on TikTok.
I only have 172.
But TikTok, man, but you get a lot of love with your 172. TikTok I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. It's like organically grown. More followers on TikTok.
It's what Facebook used to be. Like your friends and family before it started being taken over by ads and stuff.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think TikTok is like strangers. This is where you find your people and your weird stuff that you like that you do.
So they put you on your topic.
They kind of put you in your topic. So like, therefore my stuff would be, and people be like, the Chinese they really follow the Instagram. I mean, like they really follow the algorithm. Like if this is all you watch, this is probably all they're going to give you.
You got to be careful what you click on. Because if you click on something and that gets in your algorithm, they're going to be like, oh, they like this, so we're going to give them more of this type of videos. And then your timeline will look kind of crazy because you clicked on something that looked interesting and it ticked something off in the system that say, oh, they like videos about people falling off the bike or something, you know, just anything random.
Yeah, falling off the bike.
I don't know. I'm just saying, example.
They love your face on my IG though. I'll be trying to put my wife's face on all my IG.
Yeah, I don't like put my face out there sometimes.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Oh,
it's just,
thank you, baby.
It's true. She always think I'm being biased because I'm her husband. I'm like, man, whatever. I mean, I guess I get it. Maybe I
believe
biased,
him. I just think he puts a little extra in there because I'm his wife. No, you know,
she already know I'm not emotional feeling type. So when I tell her that, it's a fact. Yeah. But the thing, you know what? I made a stats on FB the other day, and I was just really thinking because that's what we do. I don't know where you was at. You was somewhere, but I was just thinking. I was like, man, when you think about those who was, doing the most with their parents and stressing their parents out, hindsight is thinking like, dang, I was stressing my parents out and I really could just chill out. That's what I said. Like, I'm thinking about some of the things like me, it was always me in the talking back. Like me, I'm good at comebacks and talking and frustrating people. Look, my wife just shook her head.
SMH.
But yeah, I'm good at that. So I gave that to my parents too. So I'll talk. It won't be trash, but I don't know if it's just my tone. It's very condescending. Is that what you say?
Very direct. I won't even say condescending. Okay. I'll just say very direct. And if you're not a very direct person, hearing something from somebody direct can come off as aggressive when they're just direct.
Yeah, but it's not my intention. I'm wired that way. I'm trying to do something about that. But just think about like, man, a lot of times, a lot of hills I decided to die on with my parents that I could have just chilled out. Like, yeah, okay. And that could have been that. No one ever thinks. I never thought about that. Like, I really, at the time, I could have just been like, I could have been over myself. I think me now getting over myself, I kind of feel like I could have got over myself back then. I could have been like, you know what?
But hindsight is 20/20.
I know, I'm just saying.
I always say that, like, we would have did everything perfectly if we would have been, lived through it before and able to look back and see where everything went wrong, and wisdom from our age now versus our age then.
But this is more so for the future.
Young people, huh?
Like, it might not be for our dynamic on our target audience is well into the late 20s to 50, mid 50s.
Hey,
so
we can learn at any and every age.
But maybe your young children, you can be like, you can let them know about energies and giving energies, and really as parents though, the problem is you should be the one to work on you first, so then you know how to work on your child. So that's kind of tough to think about this. So hindsight, as we're learning it now with our young children, so it's just one of them things like, man, I'm gonna utilize all this brain stuff instead of the frustrations. It's gonna be a challenge, and I have to, because I homeschool, and man, my daughters, you know how I say when I talk I frustrate people because I know how to get to them. Oh, imagine them too.
They've studied us, they know us, y'all.
They give me, or they're giving me a run for our money every single day. But they are our children.
And we love them very, very much.
Exactly. What were we talking about?
I don't know. You went to the kids.
Oh no, I was going about the thing about the being kids and.
Oh, we always think our parents are supposed to be perfect too, because when you're a child, they're your only examples most of the time in the beginning, and until you start school and stuff like that. And you still think your parents are supposed to be perfect, and so it hurts, as you get older. And you see the mistakes, and you see that they were human, just like you're human.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that we're hard on our parents when we're younger because we think they're supposed to be perfect. But like the old people tell you, live a little, just live a little. And you realize that's just comes with the territory. You do better when you know better. Well, at least that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
But when you're younger, your new parents and stuff like that, sometimes you just don't know better. You have to learn.
Yeah, you gotta learn, then you gotta want to do better. You gotta want to do better before you do better. So it's one thing to know better, but you gotta want to learn, do better, and then so you can actually do better.
One of my favorite speakers, Lisa Nichols. She said people will be like, Lisa, what do I need to do to change? What do I need to do for this success? No, what do I need to do for this, and this? She'd be like, well, you need to self-reflect and you need to figure out what you need to change. And she said, they'd be like, change? But that's too hard. Yeah. That's too much work. Well, then you don't want that. I'm going to tell you this. You don't want that, because if you don't put in that work and you say you want that, then what's the truth? Do you want it or do you not want it? I mean, your work is going to tell, the proof is in the pudding. So what are you willing to do to get what you want? If you say you want it.
and that's a hard truth to live with.
For me too.
Because it's like when you start thinking like, man, well, I was about to do this, like, dang, did I really do what it took to do this? Was I really ready for that? No, I wasn't.
Even better question. What's stopping you from doing it now?
And that's those type of questions. When you sit in a room and ask yourself a question like that, and you can't even answer your own question, your own being, you're not doing what you want to do. Like, I'm not telling us a question people ask you. You gotta ask yourself. You gotta, because you're not just gonna lie to yourself, or you're not gonna believe you when you lie to yourself. So it's just really about you and yourself, and that's the bringing on the self-awareness, realizing that everything in your life may not been your fault as far as mistakes or stuff that's happened to you, but how you deal with it is your fault. How what you cover and carry with you is your fault. How you cover and carry stuff with you, because after that, it's bigger than you. I mean, it's bigger than that.
I won't even use such a strong word as your fault, but I will say your responsibility.
Yeah, I mean,
you are responsible for what you do with it. You might not be responsible for what happened to you or the reason that it happened to you, but you're responsible for how you react to it and what you do with it, especially once you learn and you grow and you have the power in your hands to do those things in your own life.
Yeah. Especially I'm not saying as a child, these are not conversations for children. These are legal adults.
Okay.
Yeah, because children is different. That's different. But I'm talking about legal as a legal adult. Of course, as a child, if you wilding, you do need to chill out if you wilding for no reason. But I mean, you gotta wanna. That's the thing. Ultimately, even though you're a child, you still gotta want to chill out and not be so stressed or stress your parents out. Have a conversation. Kids, have a conversation with your parents. Parents, you are in charge of having a conversation with your kids. You can't expect your kid to be somebody if you never conversate with them about anything or anything.
Yeah.
It's just really, like I said, just dealing with that type of just a self-awareness. Like, dang, yeah, other people are involved, but I can't worry about what everybody else doing. Make sure I'm straight. Did I come? Am I doing what I believe with my values? That's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Different game.
Well, yeah. It's just, my big thing is when it comes down to it, everything turns back to looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? I even tell, fellow Christians or whatever, when everybody likes to say God, the devil, stuff like that. That's fine. But if God gave you power or gave you an instruction booklet, then do you expect those things to happen? If you don't step up and do those things, we have to do those things. We have to put the things in motion. We have to put our actions with our faith. We have to not just dream, but we gotta make a plan to make those dreams come true in our lives. Like, dreams can come true and they do come true. But guess what? The dreams don't just miraculously drop into your laps. You have to
you still have to go out
plan
there
it out.
Sow them seeds.
You gotta sow the
land.
seeds. Yeah. You gotta sweat, sometimes blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. You can't let go of it. You gotta do when Jacob wrestled God, he said, I will not let you go till you bless me. When he encountered that angel, he wrestled. He said, God, I'm not letting go till you bless me. You got to get that, that tenacity to man, this is my purpose. This is my dream. This is what I want. I might have to fight for it a little bit. It ain't going to drop in my lap. I might have to work for it a little bit. I might have to hurt for it a little bit. But guess what? It's possible. I'm not letting go. I know this is what I want. And ain't nobody else gonna tell me otherwise. So come on, I won't let go till you bless me, God. Come on, give it to me.
Stop telling people that aren't on your same wavelength your plan if you don't have the mental to still like let's say one thing. I think now we are at the point to where we can tell anybody what we want to do, and regardless of the negativity we receive from it, we'll still go with the plan because we conditions ourselves different now. So
welcome.
So it's like I can go ahead and tell somebody something crazy that sounds crazy to them, and they might be like, oh yeah, this, whatever. But some people let that discourage them. You shouldn't, man. How could you?
Baby, you got a wife that has so much experience with that. I had people say, don't go to the Marine Corps.
Don't do nothing.
Don't do this. Don't do that. All my life, y'all, I've had to don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Everybody been all this happened this, and they've been sharing their experiences and their negativity and telling me that because it happened to them, it was going to happen to me, or because it wasn't right for them, it wasn't right for me. You got to look within yourself and find out what's right for you. I thank God I went to the Marine Corps. I thank God I left Chicago and came to ORU as a single mom with a 2-year-old baby. I thank God I didn't let that scare me, because guess what? If it wouldn't have happened, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I could have went back or whatever, but I didn't even have to because I stepped out on faith and it worked for me. But if I would have listened to the people telling me what I couldn't do, then I would have never been right here, right now, talking to y'all at this moment.
Yeah, it's a fact. Thank you for being here to talk to us at this moment. It's just when you just really choose to the problem is, how people be like, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Are you really?
That should be the moment when you go to the book. So what do you want to do? That's when you start educating about the situation. Like how sick are you?
Oh my God, babe. I'm gonna share this.
Yeah.
When I was in a bad marriage, this was when I was young, y'all. I got married at 19 the first time. But when I was in a bad marriage, and all this stuff was happening, and I would call, talk to my mom, call, talk to my grandma. I mean, not my grandma, my godmom, you know, about things that was going on. And I was so depressed and everything. And they would say, you'll know when you done. You'll know when you had enough. Like, we done already told you. You'll know.
Yeah.
And they just stepped back. It had to be me knowing when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it wasn't me saying I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had to really be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Get me a plane ticket up out of California and fly to Chicago with my baby.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I had to do it. I couldn't think about it. I couldn't talk about it. It did not matter until I did it. So when you sick and tired of being sick and tired, can't nobody know when you sick and tired of being sick and tired but you. And when you sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to do something different.
Yeah.
You're not just going to sit there and say it and think about it no more.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. When you're really, really sick and tired, then it comes to the point, and I know there's some things how me and you used to be like, oh, we should do this, to the point where we start calling ourselves out like, oh, why we keep sinning if we ain't gonna do it?
What's one of the main things we always dream about, but we never did? I want to see if you could think of what I'm thinking about.
No, I probably couldn't think about what you think about.
We always talk about winning the lottery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
We talked about it for years, y'all. Who played the lottery? Nobody in
We
this
don't play the
household.
lottery.
How in the hell we gonna win a lottery?
So something like that we just kind of stopped even talking about that. So it's like we was like so many times we talk, oh, we should do a schedule. We should do a schedule. What we start doing now instead of talking about it? We just started
Doing
you know
it.
what? We stopped talking about it. We was like, just do it, because man,
Nike had that slogan a long time ago, boy. Y'all, that was prophetic. Just do it.
just do it, and that really is the truth. Like, man, if you so caught up on how, man, we talk to so many people or see so many people online, like how to do this, is this, just start doing it. Like,
You know what helped me a lot? Like with the computer, I don't know, like I was afraid of it or something.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid of it because I knew how to do papers and different things like that, but I wasn't really all the way there. And I'm still not all the way there, but I'm learning. But one thing that used to intimidate me is me thinking I'm gonna push the wrong button and mess something up. But I have before, when my husband wasn't in my life, I've messed something up and not been able to go through with a paper or something, or mess something up in the middle of something. So I'd be scared. He like, it ain't gonna break anything, push the buttons. And realizing that he's here and he got my back. And if I do push the wrong button, 9 times out of 10, he can go and recover it or whatever. It gave me that courage, and me exploring gave me the confidence to know that I could learn and get this.
And sometimes you may push the wrong button.
Oh, not sometimes. Oh yeah, it will happen.
But you'll get over it to the point where it just be a memory. Like, you know, that's just what it is.
Like I said, when I push the wrong button, especially if I accidentally erase something, I go to my husband like, can you help me? I go to him to help me. But if not, I'll play around with it myself. Sometimes he say, I feel like you don't even need me anymore. Because I used to ask him to do everything for me. Yeah. But I did what he told me. Learn. You know, he started teaching me, learning to do it for myself. I did that. And now he don't even know how to feel because I actually did that. But I know if I make a mistake or I mess up, he's still there. I'll go to him if I need him. But I can figure some stuff out on my own by making mistakes.
It's most definitely bittersweet. The same thing with my daughters. It's like, I'll be like, nah, y'all gonna do this. Y'all ask me this too much. Y'all gonna do it. So when they start doing it and not need me, I'm kind of be like, what you here doing? What you using the microwave for, Kayla? I'm like, what? Oh, she know, because I told her, and I feel some kind of way about doing the same thing. Yeah, with Crystal, with this computer stuff. You don't understand. This woman used to fight it. She used to fight the technology. And I just realized we're not here to worship technology. This is a tool.
Just like money is a resource.
Just like money is a resource. These are tools. It's another resource to help you do whatever you want. We kind of in the era where you can do whatever you want. And there's so much things that we always used to be like, I want to be the president. No, it's so much more things that's just cool. But there's so many more things than that. And really what you should do is what you dream about, what you in your heart, what you feel like you could do for the rest of your life and not care a moment else about doing anything else. And only thing is, that's not an easy question to ask yourself. That takes a lot of trial and error. So just do it, you know? Those some bars right there.
Baby got them bars.
Yeah. But no, I'm just understanding this at 41. Year 40 to 41 has been crazy. And as far as understanding.
Y'all, let me tell y'all, I feel like my husband finally really hears me. Like really, really hears me. Because when I hear him talking to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, who is that?
It's just opening up that dreaming, that kid faith or whatever you call it, kid possibilities, and to realizing like, man, what's crazy is we start getting so, oh, you can only do this, you can only do that. But then why do we see people living in every spectrum of life? Why do I have to do this when this person's doing that? Can I not do that? Well, if you wanna so make I don't know, something crazy. You want to be in your basement and freaking knit together rugs, and that's what makes you happy, so you can sell on Etsy store. Oh, that's easy. I'm not saying it's easy to do that. I'm just saying the sell stuff on the store. That's the easy part. It's just we too busy not taking chances on our passions. Because I understand now when I go with this gardening and farming stuff, I can talk about this stuff like I'm a professional because I care so much. I'm so passionate about it. It's just the passion come through it. You gotta find
your passion. Got to be bigger than your discouragement, y'all.
Yeah. If your thing is sports and you love sports like so many people do on Facebook, hey man, where your sports podcast at? Because I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a type of energies. I want to see people do stuff like that, even if it's on the side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's so many artists I know that was so good at drawing when we were in school, and I don't never see them draw no more. And it's like, dang, like you just lost it. Like
they said, this is saying, it said hard work beat talent if talent don't work hard.
And I know people like me, same like me. I see people out here that, you know, I'm like one of the ones that's talented, but I don't work hard. So when I see people who stuff is not talented, but they work hard, I'm mad. Like, why am I mad? Because they work hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they took that opportunity.
And that's I see how this people that drive into hate, that turns into hate. It really does. You don't even realize you're a hater because you're like, oh, that song is trash. I can do that song.
It's like Sasuke and Naruto. Yeah. Like they both great.
Yeah.
But they looking at the other one because the other one didn't advance. You know, Sasuke was like, oh, I didn't see you, Naruto. And when he saw him, he was like, oh, I see you. Now you my frenemy.
Yeah, now you my rival.
Yeah, I respect your work. I respect you, but I'm gonna try to beat you.
And that's what we gotta get more into, that type of thinking. Then, unlike Highlander, where there's only one, there's more than one. Check how many different champions are there out there of different things in life. Man, there's more than one. You can be top 10 in some of these categories. There's a Fortune 500 for a reason. These are 500 companies that are seen
top
as
20 under 20, yeah. Top 30 under 30, in different areas. Forbes, just different areas. You know,
if your name is listed at 40 on the top 40 under 40, you're number 40. You awesome. You're still an elite.
Yes, you've been recognized. Like, you've been seen.
You still cross the line. That's what I'm trying to. And that took me a minute to actually realize that sometimes just completing the race is winning. You're not gonna be able to be Apple, but shoot, you can be IBM. Like, come on.
Just like, look, I used to do a lot of 5Ks, y'all. A lot of different runs and stuff like that. I did not run to. Matter of fact, I didn't run most of the time, if I'm being honest with you. But it was more socializing.
Yeah.
But I didn't run to win first place. Some people were out there to win first place. I was not. So my baby asked me, Mama, you win? I'm like, yeah. She said, how you know you win? I said, I got a medal. You came in first place? I was like, nah, I think they gave everybody medals. Well, how you win then? I'm like, because I finished. The whole purpose for me doing the 5K is to finish. I know I'm not going to be the first, in my category, because that's not what I'm training to do. I'm training to enjoy myself and to do that.
And not to say for those out there like, what? We're not talking about participation trophies. That if the event is made for a person to be a winner and a person to be a loser, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. But if we're all selling, let's say we're all selling shirts. Let's say this person over here made $1 million this year selling shirts, and I made $500,000. Yes, they made $500,000 more than me, but I still made $500,000. It's the viewpoint of it. And then you should be like, how can I turn my $500,000 to $1 million next year? And you might do that by having a conversation with the guy on the end of the block who sells $1 million in t-shirts, not hating or not being envious. Like, a lot of these business people like to tell you their secrets and how they do stuff because they know only a certain few people gonna actually follow through.
Yeah, I know they get excited when somebody will actually ask them questions. You see them light up and that passion shine through. They'll tell you any and everything.
They'll tell you anything. That's why I'm such a fan of YouTube University. Or we pay for premium, so we're paying $15 or $20 a month for all this information, trying to learn new things. Like the next thing I'm about to learn, I put on my list, babe, speed reading.
Yeah, John Maxwell did talk about that, so I think I will holler at some speed reading
Because
too.
I won't say I don't have time, because we only got the same amount of time, but I don't like to set out the time to go through and read a book at my I have to reread the same thing. So I would like to be able to skim through it, highlight important things, and move on.
Yeah, because they say 80% of what you need to know can be found in 20% of a book.
Yeah, man, a lot of times that's what it's always been my beef, because they fluff these books to death.
That's everything, though.
Yeah, and I get it, man.
Repetition, classes, what is school? Repetition, everything, repetition.
But as opposed to having a 300-page book, I'd rather pay $20 for a 75-page book that gave me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I get it for sales. You gotta feel like if somebody's spending $20 on a book, you gotta feel like they get enough pages. But man.
And some people like me, I like to break it all. I like to like it broken all the way down for me. Some people don't. They just want the cliff note. I'm the type of person. I want the annotation. I want the bibliography. I want the table of contents. I want it all. I want to take all of it in.
I'm more like that now. I take one source and now I put it next to another source to see if that goes well. So I do like to know all the different areas where this data come through, so I can try to formulate my own. Because I'm in that whole thing, like we take all these, because if people don't realize this, most everything that we perceive as fact is based off theories. A lot of time I'm not gonna get into that because people, that'll be whatever, but a lot of times it's just like if somebody says this is this over here, might say 95% that, but 5% is gonna be different, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of I'll add my 5% to whatever topic or whatever we're going with, but let's need to hear that. I got into a hole. I try not to get into these type of tech rants or type of.
Hey, that's why we on the podcast. Yeah. We're just talking, y'all. None of these views are just educational, our experiences from our perspective.
For entertainment only.
For entertainment purposes only.
Unless we say be kind and treat people how you like to be treated.
What's that then?
That's a universal rule that no one follows.
That's the golden rule.
Golden rule. Yeah. Should be the universal rule. So that's a wild rule when you think about it. It's like, hey, we do have the key to life. No one cares. Because I would think, like, arguably, if you want to theorize, if everyone started treating others how they wanted to be treated, then you would be only surrounded by your like people, and you would treat people how you all like to be treated, and then you wouldn't have to enter and deal with people that you don't.
We'll end up in utopia.
I wonder, somebody find out. Then somebody be like,
just to clarify, I don't know. Most people probably know what it is, but I've been told to, say what stuff is to make sure people understand. So utopia is kind of like a heaven, beautiful.
Where did we just teleport to?
Most beautiful place.
And the topic of discussion tonight is
no utopia. I just wanted to give the definition of utopia. See, y'all, he biting his lip. He biting his lip over here. That's what he be doing when I talk to him sometimes.
This is wisdom, fellows. I'm telling you right now. Get your garden, fella. It's really not only benefits you, but it benefits your whole family because. But.
Whoa.
But anyways, yeah, utopia.
Look it up, y'all. Just look up the definition.
It's it's kind of just like whatever you think. It's kind of one of them things. But yeah, what would be a utopia for you in business?
In business, utopia would be a smoothly, well-oiled operating system. Like everybody is like a family type environment. Everything, every part works, like complements each other. Everybody's doing their part. They're clear on what they're supposed to do. We work well together. we solve problems, and we bring in good profit. That would be my utopia. And it has room for growth and to be able to scale upwards and upwards and upwards.
Woo, man.
Why is he laughing at me?
No, that
y'all?
last part, man. I thought I was in the man. You had me like upwards and upwards and upwards.
What you think you was in?
I don't know. It sound like, you know how you be watching like the Utopia type shows, and then all your dreams can be reached.
I need to do some of those recordings then.
Man, I'm
And
saying.
put some music behind it. Some of your original DJ Phil music behind it on the track. Oh, that might be dope, y'all.
I was thinking like me. This is just a new concept with me as far as leadership and how we want our conglomerate. I'll use the word freely, because it really, that's what explains what Crystalshares is. And this podcast is actually up under the Crystalshares umbrella. So
the conglomerate.
We kind of, social media management, education, of course, agriculture, sustainability, just all those things roll into one. And we kind of that's actually the first thing we came up with, was we went and got LLC'd it and then trademarked. But we didn't know.
We were still figuring out. I was testing it. Like we told y'all in the beginning of this episode, we were testing. We were putting it out there, seeing what we wanted to do. That's why I said don't marry it. You could think you want to do one thing and change your mind. I started wanting to be just a life coach, inspirational coach, healing coach, whatever. But that kind of changed. It like evolved and took on a life of its own. So yes, I am, encouraging healing, and I'm helping people heal and transform and be confident and empowered. But it's way bigger than that. We're doing way more than that. Like, it transformed, it changed. It was not the same. It's not the same today as it was 2 years ago. It was not the same today as it was 1 year ago.
It's not the. That's the thing. And you got to be open to when that thing in your head don't seem right and it's not working right. Take it out and put something in there else and see if that make it seem a little better. It's just about piece by piece, puzzle by puzzle piece. You might have to switch out something just to work right. And that's. And a lot of times I realize the more you move on from what you thought into a next evolved concept, the better, because then things start working right. And then it's just about, man, it really is a keep on going and going back and back testing, changing up a little bit until, and I think that's what companies do. Even the big ones, they're not the same company they was 50 years ago or however long.
And speaking of companies changing and taking reviews and feedback and testing and stuff like that, I would really love to hear from our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
What you're thinking, what you would like to hear more of, what you like the best.
Yeah.
We would really like to hear from you all. So, baby, what's the way we can, interact and hear from them?
Always at crystalshares.com, really at Crystalshares on all platforms, major platforms.
Leave us some feedback.
Man. Especially,
we would love to
Berry
hear
Unearthed. At Berry Unearthed on Instagram. I haven't decided if I want to give us a thread or a TikTok. That's a lot of once we hire a multimedia
we need a social
man.
media manager. We really do. Personal assistant and a social media manager.
We're starting to get I told my wife I wanted to start this thing not bootstrapping it, but to know what we really need, because it's easy to go out there and pay for all these services and you might not even need 70% of them.
But let me tell you, y'all, I have to make a believer out of my husband, and he said it. But when I used to be like, we're gonna need people to work for us, we're gonna need this, we're gonna need that, he'd be like, oh my God, we don't need that. We don't need that. He said that. This was years ago. This not now. Now he's like, this is a lot. We're gonna need some people.
But what you don't realize is we blended both ideals. We needed to do it first, to know how we need to do before we knew who we need to put in those positions. So
true, and know how to do it. So we can do stuff at every area and level of our business. So even though if we hire someone to do that, whatever the case is, we train them so we know the job. So if we have to switch or turn over or whatever, it's nothing. We're not gonna miss a beat. We're not gonna miss a beat because of it.
Because you remember, you hire these people to do a job for you, and they might not know your vision. If you don't know your vision, how they ever gonna help you? So you gotta kind of know what you want to see. Yeah, you can be like, oh, I want you to just post for me. Like, post what? You want a social media manager? Post what? I don't know, just stuff about no. You got to know what your vision is first before, or you're not ready yet. You're going too far. You need to stop spending money and do more testing. So it's just one of the things.
It's no right or wrong
There's
way,
no right or
y'all.
wrong.
We spent a lot of money, probably wasted a lot of money in the beginning, but guess what? They were learning lessons.
Yeah.
Every last bit of it led to us being right here, right now. So everything was necessary.
But when I go and back test, it's not many things where we're like, dang, that was just 100% waste. I think we kind of respect the lessons that come from it. So then now we won't have to worry about certain lessons as Crystalshares does more and get more, catch on more and whatnot. We won't fall into some of those traps we fell into early on. We'll have that knowledge and understanding.
That, and then we can help our friends and anybody else that's, walking in the same shoes that we once walked in, to be able to avoid and go around the pitfalls that we didn't know were there.
Yeah. And and the thing is not that we're just going to be something more different than people. We're going to be into the process of it all that makes it more able to well-oiled than what most people do. That's why I think our benefit would come to is the processes. They're not scared of technology. They're not afraid to see who out there market leaders are doing.
And not afraid to fail.
Not afraid. That's really the biggest. Of course, no one wants to, and anxiety, if you even go into think about failure, but you got...
it's so powerful when you're not afraid to fail and you don't care what nobody thinks. Oh, that's a whole different level of power, and it don't even matter where you are or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just having that level of freedom in your mind right there, that's a whole nother ball game.
It is. It's a whole nother ball game. It's like that man, when you're not afraid to fail, like, I don't think people really grasp that, like,
that you don't know until you know, like, that if you know, you don't know.
It's like we joke on the internet about people take L's and we laugh them to death. But god dang, if the person that's getting laughed to death realize that this is just minimum, they about to use as a lesson, man, the power is in that, not the taking the hits. Cause I can only imagine a viral fail. Taking an L on this viral stage is, man, people will... Anyway, it's just the mindset about how you deal with that, and you cut that noise out and back test what you did. You're not worried about what other people did, what you did, because that's the only part you can change, and just try to do better that next time, regardless of... You can't cower wishing you woulda, shoulda, couldas all the time. Heck, if you want to start that ice cream stand, I'm gonna start it.
Start an ice cream stand.
Sure. I know someone had an ice cream truck. I'm just like, man, somebody need to start a food truck that go around the hood like ice cream man though. Can you imagine the taco truck coming down the hood on Wednesdays, on Tuesdays?
On Tuesdays, that's what's up.
Come get these hot tacos, sell them things, man. But it's something out there for everybody. I think it is. It's a lot of stuff you think can sound crazy, and it is crazy. But man, every time a new idea will come out, it was crazy. Just like, what we watched the other night? The TV decided for us. We watched the crazy movie. What's with the crazy dude?
Al. Weird Al
Yankovic, whatever. And the story was a parody, but just thinking about like, he came on the scene with parody music. Who wants to do parodies and think they're gonna make it? Like, that just sound like funny.
Said he's gonna be the most well-known, popular parody singer or artist in the world.
He niched down like a mofo, and sometimes people need to go find a market.
And his people found him.
Go find the market where not many people even know about it, but some people are already doing it.
He was at parties with like Pee Wee Herman them.
I think that was fake, because this would be a wild party. All these people had Gallagher there with smashing watermelon. The movie, if you just want to chill, have a drink and laugh,
mindless.
But it teaches some good lessons. But just to enjoy it, man, it's worth the listen, man. It's just foolishness.
For adults.
Is it for? No, man, they ain't have no bad language.
Bad language, but I don't think that's necessarily the comedy for children. It depends. To each his own.
I didn't say like one bad word, but yeah, I got you. It was kind of, at one point, it made like he was talking sexy.
Madonna.
He was like, Madonna's character was a trip. She was the one. But spoiler alert, this dude was on stage like, I know you want to see it. It was real, like, overly sexual. He like, I know you want to see it. This fool pulled out, what's that instrument called? What was that instrument called?
Ukulele?
No, ukulele is the little guitar. It's the
accordion.
This fool pulls out accordion. He gets tackled because the police thought he was about to pull out his penis. This dude pull out an accordion and talk about you already see it. It's just real.
He just started playing.
It's kind of like a smart, dirty humor. Like, you know, it's insinuated to dirty mind that it's been dirty.
Excuse me, y'all.
Neither here nor there. But we didn't hit. We my vision was to always do an hour podcast.
We was starting at 30 minutes, but I think we always been over 30 minutes.
My wife was like, "Hey, let's do 10 minutes." And I was like, "We doing the infomercials, or we want people to get?"
They said people got a short attention span. Y'all listening to us?
No,
still?
Man. That's what I'm saying. Some people do, but there's a whole community of people.
If
who
y'all
love
made
podcasts.
it through to here, hey, y'all gotta let me know some type of way. Send me a message. Hit Crystalshares.com. Whatever. Let me know y'all lasted all the way to the end of this podcast. I would love to know.
You know what? I want to say something crazy. If you came to this part of the podcast, I'm saying this without my wife's approval. So if this don't make it, then don't worry about it. But hey, if you DM Crystalshares or at Djphillovesgardening and you say, what's the word?
Healing.
If you inbox us the word healing, we'll give you 25% off a shirt at crystalshares.com.
Sounds good to me. You have wifey's approval.
25%. So that's, like I said, we're moving these shirts. We're trying to build this conglomerate of Crystalshares, which is going to be, man, education. We love the mindfulness stuff, the mindset, the thinking. We like the self-healing, not self-healing, but the self-help, like
self-development.
Self-development is the word. Self-help sounds too much like a cult. Self-development, because it does start with self. Even when you go to therapy, you yourself have to want to receive the treatment.
I'm still in therapy, y'all. I've been in therapy. I have stayed in therapy over the last 20 years, and I highly recommend it.
I know people when you tell people mindset, they think just talking in the mirror, this. It could be that too, but it's really just one piece of the puzzle. If it was that easy, man, everybody would be great, right?
Everybody.
It's kind of bigger than that, but we just this is just a thing we kind of took on understanding. So it's not any cult thing. It's really about of learning yourself, because whoever takes the time to think about their self,
right, and even here. We're just like, we're really being ourselves, and we're sharing ourselves with you all. Yeah. Like, we thought that we talk about some really great stuff that, you know, would be good to talk to the community about at times, that we would find our people would listen to. So, hey, you know.
Yeah. And I think so. I think there's people out there that are interested in our type of stuff. It might be real L7 type stuff, but
hey, it's us. We are here, right?
If we would did this podcast when we first got together, it would have been much different. Same thing 10 years ago. It
would have been like two different people.
Yeah, same thing 5 years ago. It would have been different.
Same thing a year ago.
True. A year ago, we would have probably been, I don't know. It's interesting to think about, but not to obsess over what woulda, shoulda, coulda. Mm-hmm. But I think that's all for today.
That's it. That's all, folks. We're going to call it a wrap.
Check us out at crystalshares.com.
See you later.
Peace.